Have you seen the guys with the manly hair on the face this season on The Amazing Race? Two best friends, Joel and Garrett, chasing down that $1 million carrot. Where will you go? Why will you go? If you wanna know, watch the next episode. 2 pals sailing around, span the globe, representing their home in Idaho. Facial hair gods, 2 dad bods, met in the army, served in the same squad. Every girl's hall pass will be Joel and Garrett from now on.
It's Joel and Garrett. We're back for our recap of episode 2, and we got a lot to cover.
Yes.
A lot of ground to cover today. Even though we weren't in the episode very much, we had about, 5 minutes of screen time, but we still have a lot to cover.
That's why we have so much to cover. We've got about, 14 hours worth of stuff we're gonna get in the next 4.5 hours. So it'll be a long video.
They cut out a lot of stuff, but they cut out stuff from every team. In our group chat with everybody, everybody's like, I can't believe they didn't put this in and this in. And there's a lot of stuff. So
and there's some stuff that other people brought up that they told us that we didn't know. A lot of stuff they got to cut out.
They should still err on the side of more Joel and Garrett.
I mean, how could you not with this beard and mustache?
We're so adorable. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is when we were watching the Lotus Challenge. What did you say to me while we were watching that?
Yeah, so when the Lotuses came up and I saw people putting those bouquets together, I immediately got severe anxiety,
Flashbacks.
Just dread, which is kind of funny because when I first got to that challenge and started putting it together, I'm pretty sure my very first bouquet, I nailed it first try. I got it all together, got the leaves on, tied it up, and it looked amazing. I looked at that thing and I was like, I don't know how I did this, but this thing looks perfect. And so I knew for sure that first one was going to pass without any question. So then I thought, oh man, I'm going to knock this out so quick and we'll be out of there in 4th place. And for whatever reason, I started putting that second one together and I just could not get it to work well, and the leaves would be flopping over, and so I would try to hold the leaves up with my hands and present it to the lady and say, looks good, huh? And then as soon as she took it out of my hands, the leaves would just flop down and she'd be like, no. So it was frustrating for a little bit until I finally realized I needed bigger leaves. Once I caught on that the leaves needed to be a little bit bigger, then I got those on, and I finally knocked it out after, 6 attempts, something like that.
This is my first time seeing that. I'd heard everybody who did that side of the roadblock talk about it, and for me to finally see it, I was like, oh, this is why it was so frustrating.
Yeah. Well, it was hard to hold all those buds in the right order, where you had 4 in the center, 3 on each side, because you could do that and get them all lined up good, where they look good, and then as soon as you go to grab the leaves, they would rotate or one would flip, and so it was just hard to hold them in the right order while wrapping the leaves around. And there was sometimes, you'd get the leaf around and then you would try to readjust them to get them all lined up again, and it was just a lot.
What about when you were approaching the water for the first time? What went wrong there?
Yeah. So here's the thing. I was going down those steps, and if I remember right, there was one step slightly below the water, but you could still see it. And then below that, the water's pretty murky. You couldn't see anything. In my mind, there was steps all the way down to the ground. And so I stepped on the bottom step, what ended up being the bottom step. And then you saw me kind of squat down and put my hand on the step as I was reaching with my leg towards that other step, which was not there. And when I did not touch that step, I immediately just fell right into that water. And so
gracefully, I might add.
Yeah, thank you.
So while that's going on, and he's stressing pulling all his hair out at the roadblock, I'm with the other side of every team back. We can't see this. We're a mile away.
It was a little ways away. Yeah, it was quite a boat ride down a canal and then off a shoot off of the canal.
And we're just having fun feeding the catfish and everything. And I had to pee. So I go to the bathroom and I start to pee, but my mic belt, because you might not know that everyone has a mic belt on under their shirt. Mine was super loose and it was falling off. So I had to take the whole thing. I'm like, okay. So I took my fanny pack off, took the mic belt off, fixed the mic belt, put the fanny pack. Did I? Oh, no, I didn't put the fanny pack back on.
I think we all know that you did not put the fanny pack back on.
So I had at least a good reason of taking it off, but I should have put it back on. I wasn't thinking.
Here's the thing with the fanny pack. the night before this leg started, Strasser had the brilliant idea. He said, here's the rule. We're going to make a rule for the fanny pack.
Because losing the fanny pack is the oldest trick in the book, and every time somebody does it, I make fun of them. It happens every couple of seasons.
Number 1 rule on The Amazing Race, don't lose your fanny pack. Number 2 rule, read your clue. And so, that's the biggest rule in the book. Mm-hmm. And so Strasser had this brilliant idea. Hey, here's what we do. Anytime we take that fanny pack off, we immediately buckle it to our backpacks, because there's no way we're going to run off without our backpack. That's on your back, Mm-hmm. And so there's no way we'll forget it. And I was like, brilliant. I love it. Yep. That's going to be the way to do this.
It was a good plan.
It was a great plan.
I did not execute the plan.
And so we're in the taxi, after leaving the Lotuses, on our way to the next location. And we're getting close to the next location. And we're I've been telling him what the Lotus was all about and what we were doing there. And we're like, excited that we got past that. And there's still so many teams behind us. And I look over at Strasser and I look where the fanny pack should be. And I was like, where's the fanny pack?
And then I'm like, where's the fanny pack?
And then Strasser...
That's when it dawned on me, you idiot, you left it.
Well, first of all, though, he thought that, but he was trying to convince himself that we had it still. And so then he says to me, oh, I think I put it in the trunk. Yeah, it's in the trunk. And I was like, are you sure it's in the trunk? I don't remember you throwing it in the trunk. And finally he's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure we left it at the Lotus Farm. And so then immediately I'm like, okay, we got to turn... And the taxi driver could not understand English.
No.
Anytime we said anything in English, he just kind of laughed and smiled and nodded. And so I'm doing these hand motions, We need to turn around and go back to where we came from. And at first he's like, and so then he goes, no, and he points ahead of us where we're going. Mm-hmm. And he goes, no, like he's asking, you don't want me to go this way? And we said, no, we need to go turn around and go back. And luckily he understood us.
Yeah, How much time do you think that cost us? We were thinking it probably cost us about 45 minutes.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, and about maybe 2 or 3 places in the end. I think it also cost us.
So that was the biggest thing so after we get turned around and we're heading back, my thought is this going to be the thing that ends us? Ugh. And so we don't know what to expect when we get back to the Lotus Farm. We're hoping that all the teams that we left a little while ago are still there, but what are the odds? We got there and we saw
Ian and Joe were gone. Liam and Jeremy were gone.
I think Chelsea and Robin were still there.
Yes. Liz and Ileana were still there.
And
Philly Johns were still there.
Were they still there? Okay, so 3 teams.
I don't know about that. They might have left. I can't
remember for sure. So we jump out of the taxi, run over to where he had left the fanny pack, grab it as fast as we can. And that was when I made the comment. A lot of people think that in the show... People have even asked me, does the show create drama? Because obviously, viewers want to see drama because it just creates more excitement. Oh, what's going to happen with this relationship? And so people have asked, does the show create drama? And in that moment, I know that that's a question people have. And so that was when I said to Strasser, the show doesn't have to create the drama. We can do that ourselves.
Yeah, and we did. Yeah. And it caught the producers off guard. They didn't even know we were coming back for it. It was funny.
Yeah, it was everything was a panic. I even remember our camera guy was like, I could tell he was excited, which I totally get because that's the kind of moment that you want to catch.
Yeah.
And so just the excitement from the production about, oh my goodness, this is the worst mistake you can make on the race. They just made that mistake.
Yep. But we eventually got to the place where there was the elephant, where we had to put in the coin and walk under it 3 times. Our taxi driver got lost on the way there. He passed it, went way past it, and had to take us back. But we get that clue, and now we got to pick between the scoop or shop. Is that what it was? Scoop or shop? I don't know. But the market or the pomelos, we chose the pomelos. Because we're looking at the clue. We don't have a lot of information, but we thought that the market was going to be too hard. We're like, total language barrier.
Yeah, we were concerned with the language barrier. I don't know that if the clue said specifically that it was going to be spelled out phonetically for us. I
just remember looking at that clue and thinking, Victor will be good at this, which he was, but we won't.
As far as scoop goes, though, our whole mindset this whole time for the Amazing Race was physical challenges are what we're going to be good at. And so when we read that and we thought, scoop is obviously a physical challenge, we thought that's probably our best bet.
And I'm glad we picked the pomelos because it was an iconic challenge in my mind. Doing the pomelos, which I don't know, I think you kind of saw. There was a couple of rows that we went down that had almost no pomelos. I don't even know if it showed this. And we were getting just a couple. And we were there for 20 minutes and we got 7. We got to fill 5 baskets. And then finally we found the row that Liam and Jeremy were trying to hide from us.
Yeah, and we did not know until last night.
Yeah, thanks,
that
guys.
They were trying to hide that from us. But along with that, Joe and Ian were just finishing up and about to leave when we were getting in our boat and starting out.
Yeah.
And we got in our boat and we started heading down the one aisle because we saw a few down there. And we didn't know what to expect. We didn't know if there's going to be 3 or 4, in each of the little aisles or what. So when we saw a few, we just started heading that way towards them. And then Joe and Ian, all of a sudden they say, hey guys, go that way. There's a row with a ton of them. And so then we're thinking, okay, I guess but that's the way that Jeremy and Liam had just started heading.
Yeah.
And so at that point, we were already heading the wrong direction, and we thought, well, let's just loop around. And we didn't know what he meant by there was a bunch of them. We thought, right now we're seeing 3 or 4, maybe there's like 10 or 15.
It occurred to me while we were watching it yesterday, why did we just get in the boat and start searching? Why didn't we run on our feet and look around? Because you could run around, and we could have just scouted it out on our feet and found the row where they all were and gone straight there, but it didn't occur to us. I don't think it occurred to anybody to try that. Nobody did that. All right, so we finished during the Pomelo Challenge, the thought that came to my mind was, that was like, it sunk into me finally, like you really are on the Amazing Race while we were doing that. It just felt like a typical Amazing Race iconic challenge to me, and it just felt really cool. So
and Strasser actually ended up having a good idea, which you didn't see, but so as we're going, he's trying to figure out how to get comfortable and not hurt himself while still being able to reach the pomelos. And so I'm trying to push us with the stick, and he's sitting a little high, and I feel the whole boat rocking back and forth, and I just thought, we're about to go over. And I was like, Strasser's any way you can sit in the bottom of the boat just to try to bring the weight down a little bit to keep us from tipping over. So then he had the brilliant idea, take my shoes off, and I'm going to kneel on my shoes. Use shoes as knee pads, which that
was good, because my knees were already hurting from the massage the day before, but kneeling on top of my shoes was a stroke of genius. So, all right, so we
didn't make up for the fanny pack, but
no,
I mean, at least he did something there.
Can I make up for that? I don't know. Stay tuned.
One more thing with the fanny pack, though, is...
Can we stop beating that dead horse?
Strasser afterwards... So here's what happened after the fanny pack. I was like, okay, you don't get to wear this anymore. I'm just going to keep it. And Strasser was like, right into my plan.
So he wore it after that.
Yeah.
I didn't have to wear it anymore. That was great. Okay, so we show up at the pit stop at the same time the Philly Johns showed up. And we had to race them to the mat, and we beat them to the mat. And they don't show you that in the show. It just shows we're there and then they're there. But one cool thing that Phil said as we were running up to the mat is he was like, look at that glorious bouncing beard in the wind, as I'm sprinting up to the mat. And he started talking about having beard envy. It was really cool. I don't know why they cut that out. But let's see. So we got a couple of questions. Should we do our Q&A right
Yes.
now? Okay, so a couple Q&As. We'll try to knock these out.
And also, feel free to comment and add more questions on for next week's.
A question about the food we got and the cultural experience we got during the show. I think we mentioned last week we never ate during a leg because you didn't get hungry. But after the pit stop, as soon as you check in at the mat, there's always some food nearby. So we got to go eat some food and just kind of re-energize ourselves. And the food after this leg was really, really good. The Thai food was, I saw dreams about it. It had this really good hot sauce that was just the right amount of hot and flavor.
Yeah, it was so good.
Oh, I want it so bad right now. I'm hungry.
I haven't eaten dinner yet.
Me neither. Dang it. Okay, I'm going to change the subject. We got good food at the hotel sometimes too. So what do you do if you're at a roadblock and your teammate is doing the roadblock and you just have to wait? That's when you get to know the other teams.
Yeah.
That's when you get to know the people. You sit around and talk to them. I had a lot of fun during the Lotus roadblock with the other teams, feeding the fish, shooting the breeze. The last question I have is when it comes to roadblocks, what was our strategy? Our strategy was, in a loose fashion, we're just going to alternate unless we read a roadblock clue and it looks like it's really suited for one of us, in which case we'll abandon the back and forth. So that's what we went into it with. So now it's time for us to do our tribute to the team that got sadly eliminated this time. Let's talk about Elizabeth and Ileana. Hey, did you forget this? Oh, idiot. Oh, yeah, there we go.
Sorry about that.
Oh, I forgot my hat. All right, that's better. All right. this is the saddest part of this saddest segment of our episode where we have to say goodbye to people. I really liked Elizabeth and Ileana.
Yes. So Liz and Ileana, we really liked them. And here's the thing. On our flight from Taipei to Thailand, to Bangkok, I got to sit next to Liz. Such a nice person. And, I mean, that's, you know, a chance where you actually get to know people. Besides the roadblocks, is if you ever get a chance to sit near them or anything on a flight or on, you know, any sort of transportation where you have some time to talk. And so they're just super nice people. And one thing I love about them is they love having a good time. Mm-hmm. They're always laughing.
Yep.
Always you can just tell they're having fun the whole time.
Positive, very positive,
yeah.
Upbeat. And it was sad to see them go. In fact, I mean, that's going to sound almost trite because it was sad to see every team go.
Yeah.
You were happy that it wasn't you, but you were still sad to see them go, and that was definitely the case with them. So here's a little message that they provided for us.
Hi guys, this is Ileana and Liz. So we just wanted to say that we are so happy to have met y'all, so happy to have met everyone. The Amazing Race has been one of the best experiences of our entire life. Sucks it ended so soon, and I'm not gonna lie to you, when we were at the roadblock, I do have a little confession, that I saw that you left your fanny pack, and I was pumped. Like, I was so pumped. I was like, and I didn't tell anyone. I was like, oh my God, they left it. They left their fanny pack. But in my defense, I couldn't see y'all to, like, grab you. So, you know, who am I to go run after you guys to get it? But I did see that. I didn't say anything. But that was karma for all of us.
Exactly. Yeah, there's nothing, I mean, it's been an honor, a pleasure. It's been extremely exciting, especially to do this with my daughter and us like vibe together. I mean, we have zero regrets, except we're going to do this again.
Yes, hopefully you will see us again one day. Thanks, guys.
I salute you, Liz and Ileana. Okay, let's get back to our regular close. All right, so thanks for tuning in to episode 2 recap. Come back, because we're going to keep doing these, whether we're still in the show or not. And I just remembered, I got these pomelo flavored Pepsis. I've never tried it before, but I've got them. I ordered them from Asia.
Can you believe it?
Should we try them?
Yes.
All right, well, you let us know. Would you like to see a video of us trying out the pomelo Pepsis? And
I think we should try them. Tell him we should try them. I didn't buy them, so I'll drink his money any day.
All right. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you soon.
See ya.